In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw the shaft support. So this is the isometric layout you're given. In the drawing, they don't give you the total width or height. You have to add that up. So my total width is this 1.25 plus 0.63. So I'll note that down as 1.88. The length of the front view is given at 4.13. For the height, you have to add the 0.63 here plus the 2 inches to the center of the circle, and then you'd have to add the radius of this circle, which is 0.75. So our height's going to be 3.38. You'll use those numbers to first create boxes on the no print layer for your front, top, and right views. So I am currently in the no print layer. I am going to go to the rectangle tool and start with my front view. So I will type in that the width is 4.13, and then I'll hit comma to take me over to the height, and I will type in my 3.38 and hit enter. So there's the size of that. I need 1 inch between views for my view spacing, so I will draw a line over 1 inch, and then I'll go back to the rectangle tool to create the box for the right view. So the right view, it needs to be the same height as the front, so using the 3.38, and the width of the right view is going to be that 1.88 number. So I'll type 1.88 and then comma 3.38. There's my right view. Now I can do another 1 inch spacing line up here, and I can draw my last box. So this one again be the same width as the front view, 4.13, comma 1.88. And then I want to check my work by drawing a 45-degree line from this corner. So I'll draw that till I get that polar snap in. And then I should be able to draw a line from here to the 45, take it down, and that should line up. And I should be able to do the same thing with this inner size. So now my boxes are ready to go. Now it's time to switch over to the object layer to finish up detailing this object. The height of the base here is 0.63, so I will come over here and I will draw a line up from here, 0.63, make sure it's locked in to polar 90, and then I can take that across and make the base of that front view. The next thing to do here would be to locate this circle. There's a couple ways you could do this. You could use the tangent radius option, or you could simply measure down 0.75 and over 0.75. I'm going to go with this tangent radius option. So in this box, I will track the tangents off of these two pieces and then type in my radius of 0.75. So there's my circle. I then need to connect a line up and connect this diagonal. So I'll go back to the line tool, connect this point up. I should get a quadrant snap there. When you bring this line over from this corner, you're looking for a tangent snap. So you should see that little circle with the line next to it for tangent. Inside of that, there's a smaller circle that calls out diameter 0.63. So I'm going to make sure I set it to center diameter and go ahead and pop that circle in. Try that again. 0.63. Make sure you're watching your command prompt and make sure you're watching your dynamic input as you go through the tools here. The next thing, as I start my right view, I will begin by using objects tracking. I'm not clicking on this point. I'm just going to pull over from there, and then I can draw the base of my object in. This part of the cylinder part sticks out 1.38 from the back. So I'm going to draw a line out here from this top right corner out 1.38. And then I can bring that line down. I don't know how far to bring that line down until I project something over. So let's bring over a couple projection lines with no print. I'll bring this over here. That will give me where that is, and I will also bring over where the hidden lines will be from the inside of that hole. Last thing there is this line here that's 0.63 away from the back. Well, let's take a look at that. So I'll go back to my object layer, bring this over, and do 0.63. and take that line up. Now I don't know where that line stops yet, so I'm going to draw that all the way up to here to begin with. And where that stops is right where this line hits where it's tangent, right there at that point. You're going to take this over until that intersection. If you look at the isometric here, you see how that diagonal line just ends at that point. You're going to get the same thing here. So we just need to trim off the excess parts, and it's going to end right at that point. It doesn't connect to anything else. Down here, I will trim off this part, and then I can switch back to object and draw this over. The last thing to do would be able to put the hidden lines through in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of the no print lines that are here, and then switch my line over to hidden and just extend those. They go all the way across the part. And then I can extend this line up to the top. I could draw a fresh line, or I can just take this and take it all the way up to the top. So now I have my front and right views completed. Now we're going to make a few more projections up to the top view. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to clean some of this up just so it's easier to look at. So I'm going to get rid of some of those. But they are no print, so if you wanted to keep them on there, you could. So we'll just project everything that we need up to the top view to start with. We will need this quadrant of the circle. This distance here, I'm going to project this up. I could remeasure it, but I already have it done, so I might as well just project that straight over. And I can do the same with how far the cylinder sticks out. So I'll take that up to the 45 and over. And then I will go back to my object lines, my object layer, and I can start to trace around to complete my feature. So I've got the outside corners done. Here I'm going to do the cylinder, which heads back to here. The next thing, very similar to what we have here, from the top view, this point is going to end where it is tangent. So I'll need to bring that up again. So I'm going to go back to my no print layer, and I'll find where that end point is and take that up until it hits right here. Now I can draw in that last object line from this point to this point. Now, unlike the right view where that point just ended, in the top plane you have this end point, but you still have a face and this edge under here that you have to represent, and that's going to be a hidden line. So you'll go into hidden and you will put a line in from here to here. And then while I'm at it, I will add the ones in for the hole. The last thing to do here is there are little rounded corners, these rounds here. They're radius 0.25, so you'll go to the fillet tool, select radius down at the bottom, type in 0.25, hit enter, and then you can add those little roundovers on the corners. And it does hold that value, so this is ready to go. Well, to get this set up to print, you will once again copy over the title block and border. I'm just going to drop that right here for right now. Make sure you get that outer box when you do this. You double click everything to get everything set up in there. In order to center this, I'm going to, on the no print layer, draw a diagonal line across all the views, and then I can move the title block and border from its midpoint to the midpoint here. I'm looking for that triangle. That gives me equal spacing top and bottom, left and right. There's a lot of extra stuff on here, so all these no print layers and things like that, you could delete those. They're nice if you have to go back and fix something. You might just want to turn those off temporarily just to see if you have everything in the correct place. You will need them on so that when you go into print, you will be selecting this outer window. When I go into print here, and I didn't set my text boxes yet, but once you have that done, you will select the Drafting Lab TOS. You're going to use letter, you're going to set it to window, and you'll grab the outer orange box. It's going to be centered, and you will have to select 1 to 1. Now, part of this assignment here is managing layers. So you have those green hidden lines out there. In order to get those, you need to go to Properties and then Custom Properties and tell the printer that you would like color instead of the default black and white. You hit OK a number of times. Always want to check your preview before you send it, and at that point you can right-click and plot it. Thanks for watching.